Good morning, it's 2:36 on August 7th, day 126. It's 49.9 degrees and I'm gonna wake up. Alright, good morning again folks. 3:56 in the morning, 47.6 degrees. These mornings are cooling down. Just broke out of camp. Walked a little ways off before I hit record though, because it's a pretty big campsite and there are at least 2 or 3 other tents there, so I wanted to get away first. Slept real good last night, man. Real good. It's just a nice, calm, cool night. Kind of perfect for sleeping. Yeah, and as I said, a couple other people came through, but everyone was quiet and respectful and everything else, so no worries at all. Let's see, not a whole bunch else about last night. Plan for today. As I said yesterday, there's no water sources at all before I hit Mazama campsite, which is kind of just immediately south of Crater Lake. It might actually be like within Crater Lake National Park. I'm not sure about that, but just the tiniest touch south, maybe a mile or two. So Mazama has a restaurant and a general store and a campsite. I think that general store does free laundry and showers. Restaurant does restaurant stuff. Campsite does campsite stuff. General store also has that resupply box which I sent off from Ashland, so that'll have food to get me to Shelter Cove. I explained most of this yesterday, sorry. But I think my newest plan is this. I think I'm going to do that 15 miles to get there. Hope that restaurant's open. Start charging stuff for sure. Hopefully they have some available outlets. So if I can plug stuff in and get stuff charging, get some food, get a shower, get some laundry, and then pack up and get out of there. So that would be great. Hopefully like 3 hours or so. Hopefully less, but we'll see. I mean, and as far as the time I'll spend there, hopefully 3 hours or less. I'm able to get there, take care of all those sorts of chores, pick up my resupply box and repack that. Then hopefully I can get out of there and get to that campsite I also mentioned yesterday. I think it's called Lightning Spring. That's the one that's about halfway up Crater Lake. And about, I don't know, 9 or 10 miles or so from Mazama. So it would be like 15 to get to Mazama, whole bunch of chores, 9 or 10 to get to Lightning Creek, and then sleep there. And maybe even wake up late tomorrow so that I'm not hiking past Crater Lake in the dark. Gosh, there's just a big old tree down on the trail. I think this is the trail. In fact, I'm gonna double check. But let's see if there's footprints. Maybe. Yes, that's kind of the plan. The only kind of bummer of it is that that Lightning Spring, at which I would be camped tonight, hopefully, has water there, as the name implies, but there is no water beyond that for like 25 miles. So tomorrow will just be an old-fashioned dry day, but whatever. I mean, sometimes it just goes that way. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get there, so. Anyways, that's all I got. I'm gonna get hiking. It is a little cool this morning, so I'm gonna get hiking, warm up a little bit, and I'll check in with you guys a little later.
Out on the trails, under the stars, at one with the world, just step after step. Watch the sun setting, slipped under the moon. These are the days we'll never forget. Travel and beat with the earth beneath my feet. feet.
All right, good morning again, folks. It is 7:56 in the morning. It is 52.6 degrees. It is day 126, time again for a weekly health update. I'm going to try and blast through this because I got a lot to get through. I'll say a couple things straight up top. So right now I'm about 3 miles away from Mazama campground and the restaurant and the general store and all that. I'm still not exactly sure what shape this day is going to take. So if it winds up being that I make it to Crater Lake and doing half of that, and if it winds up being that it's extra pretty, then maybe this video's feed will switch right now and I'll pop over the audio to something a little more scenic than this. So we're either still where we are or we're up at Crater Lake now. A little bit of a time warp. All right, moving on from that, a couple other things I wanted to mention just before I get into the health update. It's getting cold out here. Not super cold, but I noticed this morning, man, it was definitely cooling down quite a bit once I started hiking. The coldest I saw it was 37.8. I was comfortable, but consider that duly noted away because I really want to pay attention to that weather. On a similar note, this morning I turned off my headlamp at 5:47 in the morning. So that's also moving just a little bit later than it had been in weeks past. But yeah, just as sort of reference points. All right, into the health update. So per usual, we'll start down at the bottom of the body. We'll work our way up towards the top, and then we'll get into some gear stuff. Got a little bit of everything for you. So, right foot. Right foot's had everything going on so far this hike, man. All sorts of crazy activities. I'll say I did lose that toenail, my sort of fourth toenail or third. I forget. I mean, I'm talking about the toe, not the number of toenails I've lost so far. But yeah, lost one toenail back in wherever I was, Ashland. So that's the first toenail I've lost. But again, I think there's at least two more that seem suspiciously wobbly. So I'll also say about the right foot, that sort of fifth metatarsal bone that I've been complaining about, that seems to have resolved, which is fantastic. But very much not fantastic with the right foot is that the ankle is acting up something fierce, boy. I thought it was off all the traverses, and it may very well have been sort of caused by that, but it is not cooled down or calmed down very much at all. It is, I can't quite tell you whether I'd say it's worse, but it's definitely not better, that ankle. So today as well, I wrapped it up with an ace bandage. I meant to take some ibuprofen this morning. I did not. I will take some when I stop for my long break at Mazama. I did take some ibuprofen yesterday at lunch, so two of those, 2 400 milligram ibuprofens. Really hoping that that calms down because it is not comfortable. It's not a showstopper yet, but it is profoundly not comfortable. All right, moving on from the right foot. I say I'm starting to get some strange, like, late game blisters on my feet. Nothing painful, nothing debilitating, and nothing I'm concerned about. But just as, you know, in the interest of completionism or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, starting to get some strange blisters on my toes and stuff. So that's kind of weird. Because I'm, whatever, 1,800 miles in at this point. But again, not a problem. Let's see. So my hips, sort of those love handle rashes things, those are persisting, unfortunately. I'm not, is that a bear print? I'm not super thrilled about that. I don't know, it might be. Can't quite tell whether those are bear prints. Well, if they are, they are. Yeah, those sort of rashes, they're persisting. And again, I think that's just a mix of dirty equipment, dirty clothing, dirty body, and I mean, not to be too hyperbolic or anything, but I mean essentially malnutrition. I know I'm not eating a balanced diet out here, so that just is what it is. My left hand, I mentioned this is like a few weeks ago and I didn't really update it. When I slipped on that creek and sort of jammed my left hand ring finger, that's the one on which I wear my wedding ring, of course. Jammed that finger up. It's still stiff. It's not super painful, but it's definitely still stiff. Working on getting full range of mobility. I think it just is what it is. Finally, positive bit of health news is that on that right hand, that index finger, boy, that what the manicurist or whatever did with the gel on the fingernail, it's fantastic. Really, 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 really nice. I feel like bionic, dude. I can actually use that fingernail now and not worry about it ripping off or anything horrible like that. So really, really excited about that. All right, into gear. So I got a lot of gear stuff happening here the next week or so. As a bit of a test from Ashland. From Ashland, I did mail forward some clothing to Bend, just to see if I would notice the weight difference, just to see if it was clothing I really needed, stuff like that. I haven't really needed it, but I have noticed that my pillow is quite a bit smaller because I use all my extra clothing in my pillow at night. So I had been thinking if it seems like I didn't need that stuff, I would mail it home. But as I mentioned, it's been getting considerably colder, and I don't want to be caught flat-footed in that respect. So I think I'm going to do a little mix of sending stuff home and keeping stuff with respect to clothing. Aside from that, I'd also mentioned, I think last week, that my Z-Packs duplex zippers are concerning. They've just been concerning me. They haven't been like catastrophically bad yet, but they're deteriorating. So I contacted Z-Packs. They said sure I could mail them the tent, but they don't have any loaners, so that's pretty much a no-go. So they offered instead, they're like, dude, it's pretty easy to replace the zipper pulls. Why don't we mail you everything you need, and you can take care of it. If that's something you want to do, let us know and we'll get them out. So I should have those zippers waiting for me in Bend. That's pretty good, so hopefully I can replace those zippers, get that all fixed up and dialed in. Also coming to me in Bend, I have my Arc Haul. This is my 62-liter Z-Packs pack. Should be like 5 pounds lighter than the pack I'm currently carrying. So that's pretty significant. That's definitely, it's like 2.5 liters of water. So that should be a nice weight savings. I'm a little, well, we'll see how the comfort differential plays out, because certainly my current pack is much more comfortable than an ultralight pack, but we'll see. Let's see, my solar panel, I'm thinking about sending that home as well, just because, I mean, look at it, it's covered in trees everywhere, and I don't expect that to go away. I think it'll be pretty well tree covered through the end of the hike. So if I don't need it, I don't want it. I'm thinking about sending home the solar panel. I'll say also that I am, for those of you who have been keeping track, on my 3rd pair of pants for this hike. I started with 32-inch waist, the Patagonia Quandary. All 3 pairs have been the same style of pant, brand and style of pant. Patagonia Quandary. Started with the 32-inch pair that I've had for years and years and years. Figured I'd give them a notable, honorable death out on a trail. Well, they acquiesced. So I, ripped them to shreds in the Sierra, and then got rid of them. Moved into a 31-inch pair, which was also the pair I had used to finish up the CDT last year. So again, gave those an honorable death back on trail. And once they were literally unraveling, got rid of those as well. And I'm on now to my 30-inch waist. And that is the final pair of pants, hopefully, that I'll need for this hike. But just in the interest of noting the weight loss, they are very large on me, man. I mean, I've probably got a 28-inch waist right now. It's rough, but it's fine. I mean, and frankly, I knew that this was coming, so it is what it is. I think that's about all I got. That was plenty. I am looking forward to seeing Jason in Bend, where I'll be taking 1-0, hopefully, just one. Yeah, spending some time there, all that. Anyways, it's probably been plenty long enough, so I will skedaddle on down to Mazama and check in with you guys a little later. 72.4 degrees at 1:15. Just leaving Mazama down at the restaurant and the general store, all that. Definitely took a little bit more time here than I was hoping, but I don't really care. Frankly, I set my hoping goal a little low in anticipation that it might be a little longer. I know that's a little confusing. I can't explain the psychology behind it, but it just kind of is what it is. Did get my laundry done, did take a shower, did eat breakfast, did eat lunch, did get my resupply box, so feeling pretty good. And now I think we have about 8 miles or so to get to camp, which is going to be Lightning Spring, about halfway up Crater Lake. So we'll see if we can't get down there, and I'll check in with you guys at camp. Good evening, folks. It is 4:32, 62 degrees even. I have made it to home for the night. You can see the tent all pitched up back here behind me. This is Lightning Spring Camp on just sort of like the non-water filled side of Crater Lake. Dude, Crater Lake is amazing, man. Never been here. It is fantastic. Those views are amazing. Just really spectacular. I mean, I really don't have the words. It's just super impressive. You just kind of come up over the what is it, caldera, is that the right word, and get your first glimpse, and it is massive, huge, so clean and clear looking. It's just really spectacular. The deepest lake in the US, which is pretty cool, and the deepest volcanic lake in the world, which is also pretty cool. 1900 feet deep, so definitely pretty deep for sure. Yeah, today was a pretty interesting day. I mean, definitely kind of strange, and as far as the structure of it, with how I kind of like took that little midday break at Mazama, but that was totally great. I mean, got a shower, got my laundry done, charged up a little bit. It wasn't like the outlets. I swear that some outlets don't charge as well as others, but these outlets didn't charge great. So it is what it is. I should have enough juice to get to wherever I'm going, but wherever that is, honestly, because I think I have more than enough food to get me to Shelter Cove. but chances are, just the way the timing works out, I'm going to see Jason at some point at, around, or shortly after Shelter Cove. So should have enough juice to get me there anyways. What else? Anything else? Oh, I didn't say on the health update, there was something I forgot to mention. Oh, this is sort of both body and gear related, that my shoes, as they currently are, have about 600 miles on them, which is more than I usually put on these shoes, and they're holding up okay, but I'm hoping that maybe once I get new shoes in Bend, which is still like, you know, close to 200 miles away or something, 150, 200 miles away, but I'm hoping once I get new shoes in Bend, maybe that'll help the ankle issue, but we'll kind of see. New shoes and new insoles as well, so we'll see. Hopefully. Yeah, I think that's about all I got. I'm going to bunk up and probably wake up just a little bit later than usual tomorrow, just that I can be up at the lake for sunrise. But after the spring, I have 25 miles without water, so that's not great. I think I got to cross a road, like a very touristy road, so maybe I'll just kind of do a move, you know, trademarked by my old buddy 700, who should be about done with the AT this year. 700 used to just stand by the road and like shake an empty water bottle as people drove by, and sure enough, they would stop and give him water. So not usually the sort of thing I like to do, but if it comes to it, you know, I ain't got no pride out here, man. I'll do what I gotta do. So is what it is. I ate a lot of food over at Mazama, so I'm not gonna cook dinner. I'm not gonna have a full dinner. I'm just gonna kind of smash in a few bars, brush my teeth, and then lay down. So should be bunking up pretty quick, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
These are the days we'll never forget. Travel and beat the earth beneath my feet. I will walk to the rhythm of a traveling beat. Traveling beat the earth beneath my feet. I will walk to the rhythm of the traveling beat. Always loved the mountains ever since I was young. I was craving adventure, never took the step. But then in the darkness, when the world went insane, I knew there was something I'd never forget. Travel and beat